Hi everybody, welcome to Big O in a big OGGIE kitchen today. It's early morning, well it's just gone 10 o'clock. I've got a recipe I want to put together pretty quickly because I'm going to allow it to cook all day, okay? Because I've got lots of other stuff to do. So I'm in the kitchen for just 10-15 minutes at the most today. We are going to use a slow cooker. Love using the slow cooker, fantastic for all kind of meats, well lots of different things, casseroles, etc. But really good. So I mean, slow cooked meat is just beautiful. It's just soft and delicious, and again very economical because this thing will just, well, potter away to itself all day, and it's literally like having a candle on or something stupid. I mean, it really is. So first of all, set your slow cooker to high, and it's going to be on for around 7 hours. Okay, so we'll set that in a while. Today we're going to do a citrus pork. Now this recipe I found in this month's Sainsbury's magazine, which I think has only just come out in the supermarket, but we get it early because we subscribe to all the food magazines, love them. I read more food magazines than I do anything else. Now I will say we have altered this recipe slightly because, as I always say to you before, recipes are a basis for you. Okay, but you also have to think about the people you're cooking for, and in our family a couple of these things won't work. So let me finish the prep a second and I'll come back and explain what we're going to do. Great recipe, by the way. Actually, it's a very good magazine this month. We might even be doing that as well. So like I said, we're using the recipe in the magazine, but we are making a couple of alterations. First one is there is an optional idea in this to put some chili flakes in. I think that's a great idea. If I was doing it by myself, I probably would do that myself, but this isn't just for me, okay? And I know Kelly and our daughter here doesn't really like anything too hot, okay? So we're not going to put the chili flakes in. The other thing we're not putting in is we're not going to put a fennel bulb in. Again, Kelly doesn't like fennel. I mean, it's just one of those things. If you have a person in your family, especially your wife or partner, who doesn't like a particularly strong vegetable or fruit or whatever, just don't ever put those in, okay? It's not going to really change the base of the thing. It'll be slightly different, but it's still going to be delicious, okay? So the recipe is called for 1 large onion and 1 fennel bulb sliced up thickly. So we've gone for 2 onions, okay? So just remember that when we come back to that. So we're doing slow cooked pork, citrus pork. And I've got here a 1.5 kilo piece of pork shoulder, so economical. Okay, I got this yesterday in Morrison's actually for about £6, I think, off the top of my head. Bargain. Now, as you can see, most of the fat has been trimmed off already. Got Kelly to do that last night, so it's been in the fridge. Mainly, I joke that I'm not allowed sharp objects, but actually it's just that Kelly rather likes them. Cutting bits of meat up. She used to work in a butcher's, so let her manhandle a slab of meat and slice the fat off for me. Take most of the top off, most of the rind, and just leave a little bit of the fat. Now, shoulder normally comes strung up, so we've removed all that. I'm just going to stretch this out so that when we put all the spices in, just let down relatively flat into your slow cooker. So let's make some spice mix and then we'll get back. Okay, so let's do the spice mix. So I've got a bowl, okay? On here, we have the zest of 1 lime. There are 2 limes in this and 2 oranges, but we don't need any of the zest for any of the rest of them. It's all about the juice of the rest, okay? You can zest one of the oranges if you want and chop that really fine and then use that as a bit of a garnish, but a bit faffy to me. So here we've got the finely grated zest, or the finely zested lime, which I then chopped up again even more, and we've got about 2 tablespoons of fresh thyme, okay? 1.5 2 tablespoons of fresh thyme, which we've got from the garden here. If you don't have any fresh thyme, then look on the ingredient list. You'll find that you can get to use some dried, but you have to use less, okay? So we've got one of these microplanes. They're brilliant, but if you've got a normal grater, just use the fine part of the grater to do your zest, okay? Just trying to get too much pith, that's the important thing. Zest is flavour, pith is bitter. Makes sense? So, into our bowl, we're going to put these herbs, the actual herb bit. So that's your lime and your thyme. Oh, could start a poem here, maybe not. Right. To that, we have to add 3 cloves of garlic. Now, you know what Kelly's like on this channel. If we've got real garlic, I'll use it. If not, we're using garlic puree. So 3 garlic cloves is 3 teaspoons of garlic puree. There you go. You're going to tell me off for not squeezing at the end of a tube. Are you one of those people like me who just don't worry about using the end of a toothpaste tube or anything? Right, so I digress. Let's put this one to one side and we'll do the rest of the spices. Okay, so that's your garlic and your fresh herb and lime. To that, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of ground coriander. Typically, if you use a full-size tablespoon measure, it doesn't fit in the jar, so bear with. There we go. Also, we're going to add some ground cumin, 2 teaspoons of ground cumin. To me, this already has a kind of Middle Eastern vibe going to it. There we go. Love cumin and coriander and things. Absolutely love them. So, loose top. To that, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. Okay. If you haven't got a smoke, obviously use paprika. Just happen to like the smokes, add a little bit extra dimension to your flavour. So, that's those. Now I just want to add some seasoning, so some salt and pepper. This is some good pinch of sea salt flakes. And we're going to use some freshly ground pepper. This happens to be a mixed pepper, but normally it'll be black. There we go. Right, move all these out of the way and I'll show you what you do next. So, get yourself a spoon, mix all these ingredients together. I suppose the only difference is because we've used a garlic paste, it's going to be a little bit on the sticky side, but that's fine. So you get your pork, so we take the rind off, most of the fat, and then you open it out. Okay, because this is the shoulder, so it's kind of opened out. And then you're going to get all this, and just going to massage it all in, really. Inside and out. You get it all on. Get your hands in, that's the important thing with this. Don't be afraid of herbs and spices. Wash your hands afterwards, it'll all be fine. We're just going to rub all this in. So it's all nicely coated on the inside. Yeah, you're going to make a bit of a mess, that's fine. Pat it all in. All flavour. Okay. So, once you worked all that in, there we go. Inside and out. All over it. Top and bottom. Massage it like your lover, or your mistress, or even your wife, husband, partner, etc. Okay? There we go. So, put that to one side a second. We'll show you what to do next. Okay, quick costume change. No one notice. You won't notice, will you? Mainly because I just splashed some water on my light grey shirt when I was washing my hands after the pork. I'd like to try and be vaguely reasonable. Okay, so what we do now, your slow cooker has been prepping itself, getting itself nice and warm. Set it for 7 hours on high. To that, you're going to add some thickly sliced onions or onion and fennel. Put this at the bottom so it makes a kind of bed. Okay. Now, to that, we are going to add the pork, okay? So, might as well do that now. Actually, we can do that now. Here's your pork. Take your lid off. Has to go, what would be the skinned size down, so you've got a bit of fat, and that fat will, I dare say, render into the bottom, which would be kind of useful, okay? So, you're going to open this out, pop it in to your slow cooker, like that. Lovely, there we go. Perfect. Wash your hands again, John. Okay, now, so far there's been no liquid in this. You know, fair enough. We do need some liquid in it though. So what we've got is we've got the juice of 2 large oranges and the juice of the 2 limes, which we will put together. We're going to put them in this bowl which had the spice mix in it. That will be get all the rest of the spices. So that goes in there. Oranges go in as well. There we go. And just to add a little bit of sweetness, but also increase the citrus, we got some marmalade. This happens to be, this we got from Duke's Hill when we got ourselves a Christmas box of stuff. But I'm on a bit of a health kit right now, so I'm not on marmalade and toast anymore for breakfast, so we're using this. It's a small jar, so basically we use the whole jar. All right, so you need in the end 6 tablespoons. To be honest, it's only a small jar. It's pretty much the whole thing. So here's your 6 tablespoons of marmalade. Now you're going to use about half of that at the moment. Going to add that in. There we go, to the orange juice mixture. Give this a bit of a stir around, just so that it all kind of dissolves a little bit. You'll still obviously have rind, etc. Use whatever marmalade you like. Okay, so probably not a whiskey one or something like that, but any decent marmalade would be good. If you can't afford a decent one, just use what you can get. So there we go, and that is your liquid that you're going to pour over this now. Let's pour it over. There we go. Add that marmalade in as well that hasn't quite dissolved, which is fine, but it's all flavour. There we go. And that's it for now. Okay, so we're going to pop the lid on. Set our timer. Our little casserole one here doesn't have a timer on it, so I'm going to set a timer for 7 hours. And 7, start. Now, we'll make a cup of tea, then I'll tell you what we've got to do next. There's one little more thing to do on this, but it's pretty much done. So, like I said, this is now going to just sit here for 7 hours. About halfway through, take the lid off, turn the meat, okay, and then close it back up again. Right, do it as quick as you can, because obviously the longer the lid's off, the slower it's going to take to cook. It's literally going to steam in its own fruit juicy sauce, okay. Once we've done the 7 hours, we need to put this in a roasting tin, which I'll explain when we come back, okay. Really, because as you know, everything in a slow cooker comes out kind of pale, and you want to caramelize it at the end. So we're going to come back to that this evening. I'll see you later. Hi darling.
Hello.
Hi everybody, welcome back. It's been 7 hours. Turn the alarm off because it's going to hit us any second.
2 minutes.
It's been 6 hours with 58 minutes. And you're here to give me a hand because it's a 2-person job.
Well, you think this gets a bit complicated. It doesn't really, it's just quite simple, but you know.
I know.
He is a mere man.
I know, that's true. So, this has been cooking lovely. The house smells fantastic right now.
It smells lovely.
Georgia came in from college and said, oh my god, it smells delish. Right? So, what we're going to do, we're going to take the meat out of the slow cooker. We're going to put it in a roasting. Finished? That's it, yeah, turn the cooker off by pulling the plugs out. Can't get the staff. Quite on the set. Right? Okay, so we're going to take the meat out of this, we're going to put it in a roasting dish and lay it out relatively flat. I mean, it's a big lump really. Yeah. And then we're going to transfer the juices and everything on there through that into a frying pan. Okay? The idea being that we can keep the veg and put the veg in with the meat. And then we're going to add a little bit of the juices to what's left of the marmalade, the other 3 tablespoons of marmalade. 3 is already in there, to make a glaze.
We are.
Alright? And then, very quickly, remember right off the top of my head, the meat then goes into the oven for 15 minutes with the glaze on top, just to give it a better coating, really.
So the oven is very hot, it's 220 degrees.
Yeah, it's more of a, this is to be caramelized, so it could go black, to be honest. I mean, but that's what it's for. Yep.
So let's try and get this out. I know John said that he's explained to you that we don't have fennel in here, it's just onions for us.
Yeah.
So
the interesting will be whether it will fall apart, because it's been slow cooked. You normally find slow cooked meat is pretty fragile when it's been going for a long time. But it's a sizable lump of meat.
It is, and it does say that it should be very tender, but it shouldn't fall apart.
Yeah, well, again, that depends on whatever your slow cooker is.
Well, and it also depends on the fat content of your meat.
And I reckon
it's going to fall apart.
There you go, straight away.
So
exactly, it's shoulder. So we're just going to put it in. But then we're doing this to show you this is exactly the sort of situation you're going to get, alright? So don't panic about it. It's still going to be lush. It's just in pieces now as opposed to one big lump.
So
it
says to
it says
use
a colander, but you're just going to use a little slotted spoon, aren't you?
Well, what's the point in messing up a perfectly good colander?
Yep. So either use the colander technique or use a slotted spoon just to get all the veg out. The veg, in our case, being onions. In your case, could be fennel and onions. Now, the liquor that you don't use, the reason why they're saying putting it into a frying pan is that you can reduce it down to make it slightly syrupy.
You can.
And then have it as a kind of a sauce, really. But we're doing ours with jacket potatoes, and it probably won't necessarily fit the sauce.
No, I mean the thing is this
if
recipe.
If you've done it with mash or rice or something that needed that kind of thing.
The recipe. Are you going to show the whole recipe?
I have shown it. Well, I'm going to do the ingredients, but I've shown the recipe. There's their picture.
Because they
probably doctored quite heavily. They're using rice.
Yeah. So they've made a pilau with theirs.
Yeah. So they're using some of the stock for that.
So obviously, you'd sort of want something to make the rice a bit saucy, wouldn't you? You won't want it just plain dry.
Okay. So but really, it's just a tablespoon of this and 3 tablespoons of the. There you go, that's plenty. So you carry on to completely ignore me, as most wives have ever done in my life. Now,
mix that in.
I've had more than one.
Save the best for last then.
Third time lucky enough. So, just going to mix this up, very similar to how we did it earlier when we mixed up the stuff to put into the slow cooker. So now it's a kind of this little glaze, just gets poured over the top, but it's obviously more marmalade than fruit juice this time. And that goes in the oven to caramelise, to get all sticky. About 15 minutes and job done. Okay, so if you try this recipe, let us know. I think it's going to be really nice. It should. It smells great.
Put it in
go and pop it in. Yeah. Have you told them the temperatures yet?
I did say it was very hot at 220 degrees.
Fan or?
It actually says 220 degrees regardless.
Fair enough.
So.
It's high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says 220, gas 7.
Okay. Basically a notch up from where you already would normally be on about 180. So, yeah, gas 7 would be about 200 to 220. It's literally just going to be in there 15 minutes to give it a bit of a crust. Where was I? Oh yeah. If you've tried these recipes, please comment, let us know how you get on, because we want to find out whether you like these things or not, and whether you want us to do more. We want to do more slow cooker recipes. Obviously it's very economical and economical. So it's good for things right now, and it's going to be really tasty, I think. Please subscribe. Please take a look at our Amazon shop. You'll see the links above, and obviously you'll see the links in the description. And I think that's it. We're going. Hope you enjoy this one. I think it's going to be very good.
See you all again soon.
Bye everybody.
Bye.
Thanks darling for your help.